Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to week 6 here at the UK League Championship. My name is JK Brain Matthews and I am joined by Dan Orks Harrison for our Tower Challenge as XL have ascended to the top and they are ready to try and knock Diabolus off the top, who have remained there for 2 weeks now.
Yeah, it's been a while. They have been at the top. They're the only team to sort of fully defend the tower back to back, so credit to them. But now they have to go up against an XL who are looking refined and a lot better than they looked in previous weeks.
It's been very clean from XL for the last few weeks, but it's been a while since we've seen Diabolus. I mean, we saw them yesterday, but it feels so long because we see them quite rarely at the moment because they just remain at the top of the tower, sitting there quite comfortably on their throne, laughing down at the peasants, trying to scramble their way up to the top.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but
I like how you could have picked up and run, but you don't.
But I think we're going to see a great matchup because this is sort of in the last game. It was against M&M, who are one of our stronger teams. XL showed the sort of form that we expect from them. Diabolus have been going from strength to strength, so I'm expecting a really hypey, action-packed bloodbath here, where both teams just want to give it all, because I believe, not 100% confirmed, but XL need to win this if they want to have a chance at first place.
Yeah.
I think. Pretty sure. And Diabolus, if they win this, I think that then means they secure first place, because I think with the
doesn't actually. I think there's still a chance for someone like Fnatic to upset them next week.
No, because Fnatic, if they win next week, they get to 19 points, which would tie with Diabolus.
Oh, and
they lose in a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So I think if Diabolus win this, think.
I want to get that double checked.
Triple check, quadruple check. So don't quote me on this. But I think if Diabolus win this game...
We definitely should have had this ready, right?
I think if Diabolus win this game, they lock first. If they don't, then please send your complaints to JK Brain Matthews.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. Yeah, well, I mean, let's look at what we're expecting coming into this game, because Diabolus are a team who've been pretty dominant for the last few weeks. They've been on the up and up. They had a rougher start to the season. And then they've been looking like an unbeatable monster. And you've got to look at where that's coming from. Kerberos has made a return to the carries and not just playing these tanks. And he's been disgusting on them. You've got Yusa, who has been an all-star AD carry for this team. I think these two are one of the two people I really want to watch on Diabolus. But I think as a roster as a whole, they're looking great. Yeah,
I think these teams are going to match up really similarly, to be honest. I think both Monkeys and Taxa... Monkeys and Taxa, both Danish junglers actually.
Yeah.
But they're both not the most aggressive, I'm going to take over the game, get really fed junglers, but they try and contribute to the team. Top laners, they both have some inconsistencies, but can have some good performance.
I'm going to have to stop you there. We have a phone call. I believe the devil himself is here to join us. Diabro, are you here? Hello?
You have summoned the Dark Lord Diablo. Speak, or be assimilated.
I mean... do you want to ask it? I don't know what to ask the devil, I'm not going to lie.
How are you feeling about this matchup in XL? Do you think you guys have what it takes to stay at the top?
XL who?
Oh,
that's
okay.
That's a good answer, yeah.
I mean, how many goats were slaughtered to summon you for this interview? That's what I want to know.
12.
12. Is it always 12, or does it depend on week to week?
It varies. Depends on the week and the bloodshed on the rift.
And I mean, this week we've had a pretty bloody week. So I mean, watching the games, have you been expecting XL to climb to the top, or did you think someone else might have ascended?
Well, the Dark Prophet Kaio expected M&M.
Oh.
So it was quite an upset.
Okay.
Kaio isn't as reliable as we thought he was. Got some of his predictions wrong. I think he got yesterday wrong as well, didn't he?
He did.
You might have to sacrifice him.
We just need to give him a bit more dark powers.
Yeah, I'll punish him for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so...
He will be punished.
I want to know, how is that punishment going to happen? What are you going to do? Or is it too
He'll be
evil?
forced to play Teemo for the rest of the year.
Okay.
You know, there's some people who would actually enjoy that.
Yeah. I mean, I assume yesterday is the little devil Teemo skin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Makes sense. Although I actually find the most evil skin the cottontail skin. I don't know, there's something really like psychopathic about him putting little legs down. And you're like, oh, an Easter egg, and then it explodes.
Of course you do, Hip Rain.
I think he just took a hit at you.
Yeah, was that getting shade from you?
Of course, I am the devil.
That makes sense.
I wonder, is it like a riddle? Are you more like are you just a flat evil devil, or do you play this kind of riddle games?
Do you have a riddle for us?
Yeah, I'm terrible at riddles.
I haven't come prepared with a riddle, but next time I will have one for you, specifically, Hipbrain.
Specifically for me? Oh, Lord.
But
All right.
if you do not manage to solve my riddle, I will own your soul.
That's a fair deal.
That's a fair deal for you. It's not a fair deal for me.
What does he get if he manages to solve the riddle?
Yeah,
though?
what do I win?
Not to come to hell?
Not to go to hell.
I don't think you can offer that.
That is not a good deal for me.
I think it's pretty guaranteed.
I mean, you did make a deal with the devil, so this is on you.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us here, Diabolus. Hopefully, we will speak to you soon, and good luck
Hopefully
in
not.
your game
You want to
today.
speak to the devil soon?
Well, I mean, I've kind of got to because I've got to make this deal. I've my arm twisted into it. Thank you very much for joining us, and good luck with your game. We're going to get ready with our picks and bans for our fourth and final game of the day.
Thank you.
Faded away.
Oh, creepy. Yeah, so a lot of confidence, as always, coming out from Diabolus, back in his team. And, I mean, they should be confident. They've had great performances so far. We are flying into the draft. And, I mean, like I said before, there's a lot of places where I feel like these teams match up pretty well. You have two mid laners who like to play these scaling mids and just get so strong. The junglers, more about facilitating the team. The top lane can be quite volatile. And then the bot lane, that's the big one for me, because both Inax and Yusa are very aggressive. Sometimes too aggressive. But I feel like they're going to be looking for blood, looking for 2v2s.
Alrighty, well, Ryze, Zoe, and Jarvan being banned away. See, Diabolus banning away these mid laners. Don't want to give XL anything comfortable, but XL do take away the Silas. Don't want to leave that open.
Yeah, I'm going to be wondering if they ban away the Vlad, because I know Kerberos has been really keen on playing that. A lot of people banned that in the first rotation against him. Be interesting to see what Diabolus end up banning away as his third one.
I wonder if the Yorick gets banned as well. I mean, we've seen Curb on that again.
Could potentially, especially when XL on red side, they could go for that third pick and then ban away counters. They actually end up going for the Aurelia, so not wanting to leave it in the hands of XL, potentially Sendo. And it has risen in priority. You know, it went off the board a lot when it got nerfed, but it's definitely come back into the meta, and Lucian going to get taken away from Diabolus. They don't want to give that easy option, the 2v2 to Yusa. So now, over to them, and they have the option of things like the Galio, which you've seen a really common first pick, like the Braum, which I know Hado really favors, or they can pick something more focused on one of the other lanes.
Well, looking to put some attention into those lanes as Monk is going to get his hands on the Rek'Sai. So pretty comfortable pick there.
Yeah,
Does leave that Galio open though.
Yeah,
does leave that Vayne open as well, potentially.
As well, which you saw banned away from XL. So there would be that scaling option, but it would put the priority down a bit in lane. So could be a bold pick to take early. I think I would personally definitely pick up a support in this rotation, whatever Singh wants to get his hands on. He has really looked towards that Braum recently, but I think Galio is a strong one too. And with Sejuani going on attacks that they had a great game on before, Sejuani Braum is a pretty strong combination.
Could go for that. There's quite a lot open. Have to see what XL decide to lock in as their next pick.
Might shoehorn you a bit too much going for that Sejuani Braum now, but you could lean towards something like taking a high priority AD carry, like the Kai'Sa or something on those. But it looks like they're just going to go for the Braum, so they want that strong combo, which gives great team fighting, great lockdown. That's the thing, is that Rek'Sai is going to have more early pressure, but when you go in later on, there's so much CC that's just going to shut you down.
The question is what are they going to answer that out with?
Monk is hovering the Braum. It is Kasing's go-to pick, and it is a counter.
Zillion, mate.
I mean, the Zillion, yeah. Is Kasing's go-to pick and is a counter to the Braum, but I think he's just hovering it to sort of indicate that is potentially something that they could go, and they do lock in the Yorick for Kerberos. So the question is going to be, does Sendo take something like the Jax as a response to that? Does he take the Nasus again? Because the thing is, I feel like you can't take it to the second rotation because they will ban those away. And we might well see Eustace Vayne again, feeling confident on that pick. And when you see a front line like that, I think Vayne is the pick to go to cut through that.
It'd be very nice for them to get their hands on that. And that also means that if Inax doesn't take like a comfortable AD now, they might just ban them away. But they decide to go for the Kai'Sa. Does have a fairly decent matchup into the Vayne as well, so it can play into that.
This is a really difficult position, because now they can counter the AD carry pick by getting high priority on themselves or the top lane. I would lean towards the top lane because you want an answer to that Yorick. If you leave it, they'll ban away Jax and Nasus. And if you don't have anything prepared, you're going to be in trouble. So Sendo, he locks that Nasus in. He has something that answers the Yorick. And now we go in the second rotation. I expect to see XL ban away support and Diabolus ban away mid lane.
That might be a little bit wrong.
80 carries. Yeah, I think that is no longer up to date. But we'll see XL ban away supports here, and Diabolus ban away 80 carries most likely. They could throw some more at mid lane, but with already still off the table, I mean, a big one could be you could take Lissandra away from Exile, and actually, getting rid of that Galio, which is a big support pick. Alistair on the table as well is something you could want to take away. But now it is in Diabolus cards, and I mean, if I would be looking at things like the Tristana,
I mean, Alistair's a nice ban away here as well, because it's a Haddo comfort pick.
Vayne gets taken on the table. I expect to see something like the Alistair come out here as a ban from XL. Maybe feeling spicy, you might be worried about a Morgana, but I think she's really not that much in the meta right now, and she's really on the fringes. So, comes down to what XL are scared of, and they do go for the Alistair, and I expect to see the Tristana coming out from Diabolus as a ban here. I guess we'll just wait to see if they agree with me.
We'll have to see. One more ban here for Diabolus. What are they going to take off the board? What are they going to deny from XL?
You could throw out the mid, but I feel like when neither teams pick the mids here, you're probably just going to go towards 80 carry. There is a risk that XL picks something as a counter, because they will have that counter pick.
Yeah.
But they go for the Tristana. I mean, I did say it.
You did. You were right.
Yeah, and now, I feel like XL...
I mean, when Inax has played 2 games of it today, you know he's feeling pretty comfortable.
I would lean towards picking the 80 carry here. You could take something like the Jinx in this situation. Sivir's an option if you just want a T-fight at the back of that. They will lock that in, so a lot of engaged potential. You have that run at them, you have the Sejuani, the Braum, very good at locking down targets, and it goes with Diabolus. Rakan is available, and he starts to rise up in priority. Does offer good engage. Zilean, again, it's a counter Braum. There are options for Haddo. It just depends what he wants to offer to his team.
See what they start to lock in. Fair few things open to them. The kind of priority is shifted down a bit as a lot of those supports are being taken off and taken away, but Rakan is going to be the final lock-in for Haddo, so they do have that team fight. They do have that engage as well, but if you do look, I mean, it's been rising in popularity. It's not been rising in win rate. 0% win rate here in the UKLC at the moment. And
yeah, still quite hard to execute on, but the engage is really powerful. They did give some buffs back towards that W. Not the greatest against Sivir before 6 because she can just spell shield it very easily. But now goes into what Krogston will play, and Orianna makes complete sense. It is his sort of go-to pick in the mid lane. And now we have to ask, will XL pick something where he can punish the lane matchup, or will he pick something that scales? Things like Cassiopeia, things like Syndra are going to be pretty solid mage matchups, but you could go for something more aggressive in the mid lane. Potentially like that Zed that we saw have so much success from Warzy. It comes down to what XL wants to play and what he wants to offer to his team. I would personally lean towards a sustained DPS. But they're actually going towards
I was
LeBlanc,
thinking about maybe the LeBlanc. So they do want to go for the lane, the lane bully, the ability to try and just deny Krogston as much as possible. Does mean as we move later in, he kind of has to play around the vision. And if they fall behind, having a LeBlanc when you're behind is rough. It's really rough.
Definitely less impact in the later stages on that LeBlanc, but I think they know that the Sejuani, Braum, Sivir are so strong. They wanted to secure something that's going to be strong in the early game because LeBlanc is going to have so much pressure. And the thing is, if XL get ahead, it's very easy for them to run away with this game.
Yeah, we'll have to see exactly how that's going to go down. You do think someone like Exile piloting the LeBlanc, though, is going to be feeling pretty confident on that champion. So I'm pretty excited to get going because this is obviously our 4th and final game of the day. This is our 6th and almost our final tower challenge here at the UKLC. And so much is on the line for both of these teams. Diabolus are so close to locking themselves a spot at the European Masters. And you know they've been desperate for this for so long. They didn't make Season 1 and they didn't make Season 2.
It's 40 champions. So close. They were 3-2 in the series. They went down. If they'd won one more game and it'd been 3-2 to them, they would have gone to EU Masters as our first seed. So for them to lock in this spot would be massive, especially when they're going up against 2 LEC sister teams. Fnatic Rising. I mean, Fnatic alone is just such a huge name. And then the fact that XL has gone to the LEC and kept the sister team and then may well fall to Diabolus, it's pretty big.
I mean, they're a historied UK team, XL. They're a team who've been on the scene for a while. They've been dominant in the scene for a while as well.
Great support to play for them.
And some less weak ones. But, oh my lord, that is some true support here.
Yeah, I mean, I love to see the support. I was inspired by Diabolus skill by Euromaki CC. I don't look half as cute as that Lumiere, but rooting for you guys, Diabolus Esports. So good to see the support. I believe that is so the manager of Diabolus is 2 Chins, and I believe that is his partner.
Okay. I mean, that's some serious effort.
Yeah, dedication.
Got some proper horns.
Orcs cast bingo. Everyone, orcs. I think I saw this before. I think at the bottom it said. I think this is going to be a bit dicey.
Oh. Well, hopefully we're getting ready to roll the dice and get into our diciest game
this
here.
is going to be a bit dicey. I'm looking forward to a dicey one. Dicey, dicey, dicey.
Get it out.
Dicey. Dicey.
Cool. What is your favorite dice?
Ooh. I don't know.
Let's take a look at our rosters. Kerberos with, in the top lane, Monkeys, Krogson, Yusa, and Haddo for Diabolus, and then XL challenging them, Sendo, Taxa, Exile, Inax, and Kasing. Not mistakes. Playing as we head on to our 6th tower challenge here at the UKLC. Diabolus want to remain at the top. They had Fnatic challenge them yesterday for this spot, and now it's XL.
Should be a big fight between these two powerhouses.
Alrighty. We never got the names for who won the Orcs Easter egg, actually.
No, we didn't.
We need to get those names.
Yeah, I feel bad for the people who potentially have won and they don't know.
Maybe they were confirmed to them.
Oh,
so the governor!
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Maybe we're going to start seeing some Kaiser top from him. I missed that second one, I'm not going to lie. And Nick from Diabolus.
Oh, nice.
Do we have a third? Oh, PFI as well.
So nice to see all the people from this scene getting fast in on it to get that skin.
All of our winners were people involved in the scene. But don't worry, you guys at home, it's not over. You can still be in with a chance to win next week in the competition.
And Invade coming out.
Well, we're actually having a fight breaking out here. Inax getting caught, has that flash and the heal used for the moment. Monk is ignited. He's burning low. Taxon not able to chase up for more as they're stacking up the damage onto Kasing. He's forced to flash away. And XL lose all of their summoners in the bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, just over-aggressive. They expected to win off the Braum passive, but Diabolus instantly go on at Inax, force him out very quickly, and they come out ahead. Monk is able to still secure that red buff with the help of
Krogson actually would have won that trade had Exile gone back. He predicted him to distort back, but unfortunately for him, he didn't.
Just mind games.
It's actually a phase rush Orianna here as well. So looking to be able to disengage from the chains as quick as possible.
It's not as good in the trading against Exile, but it does mean that extra movement speed, you can negotiate team fights so much better. And yeah, if you manage to proc it when the chains are stacking up, it can put you in a good position.
All right, well, Monkeys secures himself the Rift Scuttler. Krogson having another trade with Exile this lane. It's going to be fairly bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
Especially in these early stages. Krogson needs to do his best to stay in it. Both gone Corrupting Potion.
Something to note, we have seen the fleet footwork Kaiser coming out from Yusa. So it seems likely he may well lean towards that Storm Razor. Still could go for the Infinity Edge build.
What's the item he went at the beginning of the week when he played Kaiser? Oh no, he played Vayne, didn't he?
Yeah. I did actually speak to Yusa a bit about this build path. And I spoke to him about the reason why it's favored, and it's just the 2-item spike is nicer. Like 3 items when you go the Infinity Edge is really good. But the problem is, when you think about the strength defensive items currently for AD carries, Stopwatch is a huge one. QSS is a huge one. I mean, just building the whole GA is really nice. If you go the Infinity Edge, you really want to get that Infinity Edge, Rage Blade, and then a Zeal item before you're like, now I've got my core. And so by going the Storm Razor into the Rage Blade, you have a nice 2-item spike, you're not tied down to get a 3rd item, and you can itemize defensively and still be really relevant. Because I mean, the Storm Razor is pretty good now. Gives you that Evolve D when you build it on Kaiser, but also the empowered Energized Auto, which ties in with that fleet footwork. And also, it's just more consistent damage, because Infinity Edge is nice if you get the crit, but if you don't, it's not as useful.
Well, Inax has actually gone to base early, just go and get himself a cull. Wants to just farm up this game as much as possible. Yeah,
I mean, this is the problem. You lose those summoners. Yusa Haddo pushing an advantage and quite far ahead in CS. And we said these bot lanes would be out for blood, but Yusa and Haddo not giving them any space to recover from that early invade.
Yeah, Haddo's running that heal as well. Pretty standard from what we've seen recently from our Rakans when they paired up with the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa goes into the teleport. And then the Sivir, then the Rakan takes the heal.
Yeah, so it still offers that sort of utility, less pressure, but you can see already used to getting a big CS lead in lane. And the same, Kerberos getting ahead in this matchup against Nasus. And I think early levels, Yorick comes out ahead.
Kroxan takes a pretty horrible trade here versus Exile. Got the minions to work with as well. Sigil Ignite is on. The cleanse comes down, and Exile does take the ball on the back end, but Monkeys comes in with a knock-up, has got it available. Flash is available to Exile. He distorts in. Taxa's on chains connect, and now Taxa is going to connect in. But Exile walks it out.
Kroxan very confident there. Takes the trade, knows he has the cleanse to evade the ignite damage, and just goes for the aggressive 1v1. It means that Monkeys was able to join and force Exile out of lane, and you pick this LeBlanc because you want to have pressure. So when something like that happens and you're forced back, not exactly the most favorable position.
Does mean Exile did hold his flash though, which was nice for him. Didn't go overly defensive and distort and then flash to safety. Knew that Taxa was coming by, and if he needed to, he could hold that flash. So
interesting that we're seeing the Conqueror Rek'Sai come out. So there's been so much discussion over what is the keystone to go now that Conqueror got nerfed. It's pretty, a lot of people say Halo Blade, some people say press the attack. The reason a lot of people go on Conqueror is because the only thing they nerfed on the most recent nerf to Conqueror on 9.5.
Oh, an axe, good spell shield.
Was the late game. The early levels, Conqueror is still almost as strong. Level 1 is as strong. And for a few levels after, it's only slightly weaker. So that's why they're still going for the Conqueror, because Rek'Sai is an early game champion. You're not really that worried about the scaling. But I mean, a lot of people are saying Halo Blades is a better option, or press the attack. But Monk is committing to this Conqueror.
Well, Taxa are just clearing out a few wards here. We're 6 minutes into the game, and both of these teams playing with a lot of respect towards each other. The Summoners are finally back up for that bot lane for XL. And the Ignite will be coming up fairly soon. Same for the cleanse for Kroxan and Exile.
So much control going over this Diabolus bot lane. Already an 800 gold lead with no kills to the side of Diabolus. And it just shows the pressure they have bot in this 2v2. And it's a bit worrying for the side of XL. Inax just getting punished for every CS he tries to take here.
XL goes in, goes for the chunk onto Kroxan, but misses out on the chains. And now Kroxan with that phase rush can just chase in. The shockwave comes in as well. Just chunking Exile out. Does have an extra stack in his corrupting pot and those double dark seals, so should be okay.
But it's a good opportunity. When LeBlanc uses cooldowns, that's your chance to go for an aggressive trade and force out a lane. So Kroxan feels really comfortable now. He's full HP. He's able to shove the wave in and now try and get some control.
You've seen how that phase rush was just gave Kroxan the nerve to step forward and just to chase onto Exile. Able to connect that shockwave. Yes, he used that cooldown, but using it for that level of poke was actually good.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that LeBlanc's damage is very telegraphed. When she goes in and uses a burst cooldowns, if she doesn't connect, or even she doesn't have that much damage on the back of that. So Kroxan takes that opportunity to go for an extended trade with this Orianna.
Cleanse is now up for Kroxan as it comes up now, and Taxa stepping away. They must have the timer on that, so XL probably know that their opening in that lane is slowly withering away.
Yeah, just missed it now, and they will try and get control of the jungle area over the river and push into the jungle. And this is what you can do when you have a LeBlanc backing you. So much mobility, very dangerous to fight in the jungle. And you can see Monkeys doesn't even want to contest, heads towards to give that blue to Kroxan, which couldn't come at a better time if you look at his mana.
Yeah, he really needed that. Didn't actually get to base on the Lost Chapter, unfortunately for him, so big base for him. XL now just pushing in this wave while the blue buff is being picked up. Gonna go get his own blue buff, but he's only got one stack in his corrupting pot, so his sustaining lane will start to suffer a little bit, while Kroxan still has two. That Ignite, that cleanses up. It's definitely cooling down this game. We had a very dicey beginning to the game. I said it for you.
Thank you. Speaking of dicey things, that trade wasn't as dicey as it could have been.
James did connect though.
You gotta worry about this top lane matchup because Sendo, he picks this Nasus. Jax was open.
Yeah.
He chose to take this matchup into the Yorick. And although he's keeping even now, it feels like Kerberos has had the pressure so far.
Goes in with the Sigil here from Exile, just distorts back to safety. Doesn't have his jungler around at the moment. Curious to see whether or not Sender's going for the Emacs again. He has gone double Dorans, so part of me assumes he's probably going Emacs once again.
It helps to give better wave control. And again, if you're trading with the Yorick...
Okay, right. It's a bit closer than the last game, but the poll has come in. Diabolus, according to you guys at home, win by 60% of the voters. Exile gets shockwaved here, but he's going to be fine.
Again, he's going for those aggressive trades, but now Exile, HP in a bit of a comfortable position, and
he's baiting him in, distorts forward. That's going to be the ultimate instant cleanse out, and Exile jumps back out of the fight. That's going to be the on the hunt, thrown down by Inax. The fight is breaking off. Maiden is in as Krogson is getting the concussive blows stacked up. That's going to be the Glacial Fissure. Exile flashes in and finds first blood. Now Monk is low on HP, and it looks like Exile are just going to step away.
Didn't want to go for the ult. Probably would have been able to kill LeBlanc, but didn't want to give over a free kill, potentially to Inax. But Yusin had to move up. It was slower, but they're able to show the wave in. So good rotation from Inax and Xting. And this is what we saw last game. Inax made a good rotation to save the mid lane play. And once again, XL coordinating pretty well.
But the big thing is Sendo is not being shut down, so he's able to farm up. Kerberos walked down to that play, didn't gain anything from it. Sendo got 2 plates in the top lane. So he's actually sitting in a more comfortable position than he was in the last game. And this is great for Anastasis because he just needs to survive the earlier game. Once he starts to get some items under his belt and he can kind of freely stack that Q in lane, he's going to be feeling a lot more comfortable. But we didn't really get to see how the scaling works in this matchup from last game because Sendo just got capped.
I still think Yorick's in a really good position in the later game. He just scales so well. The thing is, though, that you can't just run down the Nasus because he will just trade really well into you with that sustain. But the big thing is about the Maiden. If you have the Maiden, I think that Yorick's going to win it out late. If you don't, then I think Nasus just wins. But you've often seen teams collapse to crush the Maiden, kill it, and then take off the map. So likely to see that happen again from XL. But for now, they're devoting their attention to the bot side.
Rift Herald's going to go down, but they're trying to give Inax some plates here. That will be the first Demolish proc used, and they got a second one available to them as well. As XL just goes in, throws out a Sigil.
He's just constantly applying this pressure on the Krogson. Hasn't let him farm for free for the entire game, but hasn't found a ton. Other than that kill he got in the last exchange with the help from his team.
Oh, 3 members top lane.
Yeah, now with the Rift Herald.
They might actually just try and go for first turret blood here. The race is on. XL 1v1 versus Krogson for the moment. The Rift Herald should get its charge off. You can see Taxa was thinking about going for the play, but this might just be first turret blood going over to XL. They've got that Demolish available to them. You have to cut through this objective fairly easy, and Sendo can do nothing but watch this tower crumble. The race is on. And even though XL have been on that turret for a while, the Rift Herald should be doing so much work for them.
Yeah, there's 1 plate still left. They're close, but I think Diabolus is going to win the race, get the first tower blood, and then they should get a second charge here. It's a slightly advantageous trade for Diabolus. The big consolation is that they weren't splitting the gold as much for XL, so a lot more goes over to Inax, who's coming close to finishing off that cull. We're actually just going for a second tower here. Remember, no plating. This should go down pretty quickly.
Sendo needs to look to try and clear this wave out. Haddo's been slowed up for the moment, but can just jump away with his Q.
They don't want to overstay, but they apply a lot of pressure. And now you see the Yorick pushing bot lane. No one there to answer him at the moment. And the thing is, XL just rotated the bot lane top side, but that means like they're forfeiting the dragon. So they're wanting to take this trade of towers, but they're giving up the dragon. It's only a cloud, but even so, I feel like Diabolus is going to be able to trade up in this situation.
Gerb's gone to the bot lane, looking to try and catch this wave here. Got the Maiden as well. Meanwhile, mid lane, plates are starting to go over. Exile is trying to get himself ahead in the goal lead with that first blood. And with those plates, he's probably sitting fairly content. The teleport by Yusa into the top lane. Taxa's found out 1. The blast cone's in, and now Taxa's gone onto Yusa. There is a cleanse not available for the moment, and Inax throws out the boomerang blade. The knockup lands onto 2, but Inax gets himself a kill onto Haddo. Monkiz is coming in, gets himself a knockup.
Shockwave!
Massive shockwave! Diabolus looking to come up huge as Exile jumps out of the fight. Kasing is alive, but he goes down for the double kill. Sendo is slithering away, and Monkiz with a triple kill launches in to finish up the fight. Diabolus come up massive.
XL thought they had the numbers advantage, but so much time was bought by Hado and Yusa. And in the end, the shockwave from Krogson was huge. We're going to be able to watch that back. So Yusa gets stunned, but no one's able to hit. And the great ult from Hado buys on a time. A good knockup as well. He may fall, but now Kerberos turns up, says, welcome to the Coliseum, and sets up a shockwave inside that cage. And from then on, it's just clean up for the side of Diabolus. Senna just joins too late, and it's just free pickings at that point.
Oh, there you go.
Really solid play from Diabolus. And Monk is flexing with that Rek'Sai, picking up 3 kills, which is pretty uncharacteristic for him.
Alrighty, well, Infinity Edge has now been finished off into Inax, but Yusa with that Storm Razor and the pickaxe in his inventory. You can see the colors finished and cashed in now for Inax. So he did get himself a kill in that last fight onto Hado. And with the Infinity Edge, has a serious amount of shove. Taxa maybe just found out here by Hado. They know it's there, not going to steal it away.
Yeah, LeBlanc got a bit too much damage there, but Krogson going to look for a trade here.
They might just try and get their hands on this Cloud Drake.
Yeah,
First Drake goes over.
Tax actually got chunked out there by Krogson, so was no way he was going to come close for that. And Inax should be able to pick up this tower for free on the top side. Kerberos will head over to pick up the wave in return, but Diabolus pushing on the other side, and Sendo, nothing really can do with no flash. Still level 10. And Yusa really getting strong at this point with that Storm Razor heading towards that Rage Blade.
Well, you do see at least the tower goes over for Inax, but Yusa, like you said, able to answer out here with Hado. Gonna be another turret going down in favor of Diabolus. 2 apiece here, but XL are a little bit ahead of the play here. They've got that extra shove and double demolish available with Taxa. Doesn't mean they might be able to get a fair amount of damage dealt to this turret. As Sendo's been caught out, Yusa's putting the damage on. You can see in the picture-in-picture a fight in the mid lane as well. Exile trying to get a kill onto Monkeys. 1v2, not able to do it for the moment, but he goes out. In comes the ult. Monkeys gets himself the shutdown, and a great tunnel away to safety here, as they've just got themselves the 1 kill. The turret will go down, and Monkeys is able to escape.
Exile trying to play so back and forth there, but in the end, a good read from Krogson and Monkeys pins him down, and then crucially, Monkeys manages to get away off the back end. And then it looked like Krogson going to be in a bit of trouble, but that phase rush came in clutch, and he's just able to run off at XL. Just looked like they're grasping at straws in this LeBlanc. This pick that we said you can apply so much pressure with just really hasn't found it this game. And this is from someone who was the MVP in XL's last game.
You have to be very careful, though. If Monkeys get shut down by either the Civet or the LeBlanc, that's 700 gold in your pocket. Yusa's also worth 450. And we saw this in the Bulldogs game. XL fell behind, there were multiple shutdowns available, and then they got a miracle team fight, and all the gold went onto the right members. And suddenly, a 10,000 gold gap just disappeared in one good team fight. And XL could look to try and do that here if they can get a good pick onto Monkeys. But for the moment, 3 members of Diabolus are grouping up here in the mid lane, and they're looking to accelerate, put the pedal down, and try and take over this game before XL can get into the game.
Yeah, they're going to apply some pressure with Taxa here. Looks like they will have to back off.
Multiple members are in. Big Q comes out, though.
Actually, they're just going to keep pressing forwards. And I mean, Inax isn't here on the Sivir. He's the main form of wave clear for the team, so they're just able to push it down. And more gold goes in their pockets. And you have to feel that second item from Yusa is going to be coming in soon.
It's going to be really, really hard work to deal with that. But Monkeys maybe just getting caught out here. Chains it on, uses the tunnel to root away, but does get caught. Boomerang Blade goes out and comes back. Not enough to get any significant damage onto Monkeys.
They want to kill him so bad, understandably, because getting rid of that Rek'Sai, taking him off the map, means that you get so much gold, and also you can start to get pressure back in the game, because the Rek'Sai just, it feels like he's going to be everywhere with those tunnels. Right now, we head bot side clear, but Hado and Krogson are hanging about. No summoners on either of them right now, so Taxa might look for an engage.
Taxa does have that ultimate available. They're just grouping up around the tower. Hado needs to be a little careful, playing with fire here, but Curb zooming his way in. You can see Monkeys also hanging about, so just get a little bit of tower damage done for the moment, and Sendo is going to have to back off.
And with all members on the map, it means Yusa can actually just push that bot lane on his own. I think after that wave, he's going to recall and grab that Rage Blade, and that is a big spike for the Kai'Sa. Inax is on his 2-item spike, but it's not as significant. And this is why you go for this build path, is you want the strength on 2 items. You want to be able to put out more sustained damage. And this is where I feel like Diabolus are going to want to start to execute around this Kai'Sa. It's been a while since Krogson's back as well. I feel like he's going to potentially be able to pick up something like an Oblivion Orb or a Needless the Arch Rod if you wanted it.
Level 12 as well on that LeBlanc, on the Orianna, sorry. So level 2 Shockwave available to Krogson.
It's so hard to take down Yusa as well because you have shielding from Krogson, shielding from Hado. You have the shielding from Kai'Sa's ult. It's going to be very difficult for XL to find that target that he crucially wants to take out, especially when he hasn't been able to snowball this early game. We're coming on almost 20 minutes. Baron is going to be on the cards. Probably not for a while, but it's going to be on the map.
All right, 20 minutes on the clock. Githera. In comes the Baron Nashor.
Very defensive game being played right now by XL. They're trying to set this 1-3-1. It's a very weird adaptation from Diabolus because they keep the Orianna mid, and they actually send Yusa bot lane to deal with Sendo because I just don't feel like he can get on top of them. And now Kairos could be in trouble here.
They throw the ulti out. He flashes away to safety, and they're still looking for the chase. The ultimate was used by Inax. So 2 for 1 flash.
Kairos gets away, but he loses the Maiden. So a sacrifice you have to make. Does get away with his life, but it does mean he's not going to be able to apply as much pressure coming forwards. And next dragon has spawned. It is another Cloud, I believe, so they will just pick that one up fairly easily for Diabolus. That extra movement speed is definitely a pretty big asset. When you're up against a Civic composition, it comes in useful. And the thing is, a lot of people don't rate Cloud Dragons, and yes, they are on the lower end of the spectrum, but in terms of team fighting power, the top dragon is obviously Infernal. But second to that, it's Cloud, because mountains and oceans don't really help you in the fights. That movement speed and combat can come and choose, especially when you have
a phase rush.
Yeah, absolutely. So could make the difference. I mean, look at the build just across from Diabolus. They've all just recalled, and look at all those pink wards. And so what does that say to you?
They want to dance around Baron.
They want to dance around Baron. They're going to head over, get control of this area, and potentially look for a pick.
And you can tell, Diabolus are itching for a good fight. They know they've got the power, they know they've got the advantage at the moment, and if they can find that perfect fight, they can look just to completely take this game over, because they're not so far ahead that they are just going to be able to walk through XL, but they know at the moment in a team fighting situation, if it's set up right for them, they're going to be able to do some serious work into XL, but they know that they're also worth a lot. They know that if they lose that fight, XL will be able to slingshot themselves ahead
and get back into the game. But big power spikes, the 2-item spike is on Yusa, has been for a while, but the crucial one is you look at that Orianna now got that Oblivion Orb, Luden's Echo, a lot of damage on that Shockwave.
Inax on his second BF sword, so wondering what he's building towards. Could be the Essence Reaver.
Most likely won't be the Essence Reaver.
Could be GA.
Essence Reaver doesn't build out of BF.
It doesn't anymore. You are right.
Yeah,
Thank you very
so
much.
Could well be the Bloodthirster, or it's going to be the GA. Those are the 2 options available to him.
He could just go another Infinity Edge. You know, you don't need the passive.
That'd be a bit questionable.
That would be terrible.
But yeah, and now this is the big thing, is that you have that 2-item spike on Yusa. You don't need to rush more damage now. He picks up that stopwatch, and this is the prime situation for Diabolus. They have their carry in a great situation. He's got a really nice item spike. He has that stopwatch in the back of it, and they have the Zeke's Convergence just finished on Hado, so even more damage is going to come off the back of that. I think they're going to be looking for a team fight now in XL. They have to try and deny them.
Oh, Krogson will get checked out a little bit by these Ricochet Blades.
Singh just got his flash burnt. An engage came out from Monkeys and Hado. Nothing burnt from them, though.
Oh, Sendo's going on to Kerberos here. Tax is coming in. The flash is on Curb. No flash available. Gets locked down, and the CC's enough. Sendo gets the shutdown and the stacks. Thank you very much. Exile dodges away, but not enough. Monkeys takes him out. It's a 1-for-1 globally.
Yeah, just a great move from Diabolus to rack that. And that's the thing, as I said, the Yorick can run away from the Nasus, but when the Sejuani's there as well, he can't.
Teleports are on. You can see in the bot lane. Sendo's pushing away. They're looking to group in. The pinch maneuver is coming through, and Diabolus unable to actually get themselves onto it, but they need to go for Baron fairly soon because Sendo is working away at those towers. They're going to start it up with this Kai'Sa. They're going to be able to rip through it fairly quick. Turret goes down in the bot lane.
Big thing to watch is there's no mana on Krogson, so this could actually get really scary. He's going to pick up the fruit and get some back, but if this goes to a 50-50,
No ulti on Taxa. The shockwave goes wide. Actually, no, sorry. Hits onto Inax. The jump away. The Void Seeker's coming in. Yusa goes on with the ultimate, but he flashes away to safety. He gets a kill off screen. They're chasing. They're flashing. Bring the screen down. A double kill for Yusa.
On the back end, though, Sendo's going to start hammering at this base, but without the bot lane, Diabolus feel confident to go for this Baron, but Exile's coming over, and this could have been a big mistake.
He might have done it. Does able to defend, as you can see Sendo is going to take down that inhibitor in the bot lane. No mana.
I think Kairos you should be able to just take him down here.
Has he got Wither? He's got the Wither. The cage is down. No, it's now down. That Wither's doing a lot of the misses enough to slow. It's a battle of attrition in the bot lane as we're looking towards the action at Baron Nashor, which is a base. Sendo still being chased, still low.
Yusa's actually coming in to cut him off, so Sendo should go down here.
Another cage down. Lisa land the miss. Sendo dodges it this time. They spot him out with the Scryers. That's going to be the Void Seeker. Killer Instinct not available, but Yusa should be able to pick this kill up nice and simple as he eases in forwards. Sendo tries to turn it around. It's not going to happen.
That empowered First Order as well from the Storm Razor brings a slow in, so able to pick him up, but still, Diabolus, they did get a lot of kills there, but you have to question Exile did find the favorable bot lane inhibitor. That split push is going to be a real threat. And with Baron on the cards, that is the best inhibitor to take down for the team. And now, they're just going to start up on the Baron. No TP available for Yusa or Kairos. They're not going to take it right now. Potential still there. Mounting the next dragon on the table. And with that amount of play around Baron here, that's definitely going to be a big one.
So I think it'll be hotly contested. Sendo coming up in 15 seconds. His teleport is available to him, as he's now got himself the Raptor's Cloak and the Bramble Vest. Going in for the full tank Nasus, just like we saw him play in the last game. But this is going to be the Mountain Drake getting started up by Diabolus. They're going to be able to take this down pretty quickly here with the Maiden and the Ghouls from Curb.
Yeah, next dragon will be another mountain, so again, a big objective for Diabolus to take. They get their hands on it.
Vision denial, vision clear coming through for Diabolus.
Very tanky members on the side of XL. You got to look at that Nasus and that Sejuani, really bulky at this point in the game. And Diabolus have a much squishier composition. And when you look at a Sivir, those ricochets really sting. There's no one who really can soak them. And so that's why the team fight has to be really clean from Diabolus. But for now, it just feels like the game's slowed down a bit. Sendo's split pushing the bot lane again. They're looking for the window. And you can see 4 members around mid for Diabolus. They want to find a pick. But I feel like XL aren't going to give them that opportunity so easily.
Curb has to go deal with this bot wave, as there's 2 super minions down there for him to work his way through, but teleport's still on cooldown for him. Could be a point for XL to punish him for the moment, but as I said, it's just remaining in that bot lane, constantly working these waves in, knowing that his teleport advantage might be enough for him. So he's closing in on that level 16 mark as well.
So it looks like Inax just picked up the BF for some extra damage on that item spike, but he is going towards the Essence Reaver now. Most likely will build that BF into a GA or a Bloodthirst Layer, or maybe he just got the build wrong.
Yeah, maybe just do what I did and just forgot.
Yeah, you know, that'd be a bit of an XT. But either way, we'll be picking up that Essence Reaver later on. And now, Runan's acquired by Yusa. We talked about the 2 item spike, it's big. The 3 item spike isn't anything to complain about.
It'll be fairly nasty. As Sendo continues to try and push in and get control of this bot lane. Wave is stacking up in XL's favor here. Diabolus looking for that fight. They just won the last one at Baron. They want to try and do it again, but this time Exile is here.
Bear in mind, it's still a 2.5k goldie.
Oh, they've got Croxton. He goes in. That's going to be the quickness onto the charm. A shockwave comes out by Croxton. Absolutely huge, but the heal is enough. As Sendo joins into the fray. He's looking to slam them down, but they're all so low. Nobody's died yet, and Sendo is on the front line. He has to flash out for the fight for the moment. They're trying to get that kill, but they're unable to.
How
a massive
no
engage, and no one died.
It's so back and forth. Both teams had moments where they look like they had advantages, but no one goes down, and it shows how close it is between these 2 teams.
Oh, so close.
I mean, what a good game.
Looking to get his hands onto that turret, but he can't take down this tier 1 quite yet. Really struggling to get this objective. And
look at the gold values on those bounties across Diabolus. I mean, if XL had found a couple of kills in that fight, it really could have turned things in their favor, but none came from it. Both teams just able to reset with no threat on that Baron.
Fantastic disengage from Diabolus the moment that fight turned on its head. The Essence Reaver has now been finished for Inax. He's got even more cooldown reduction. I think this puts him at about 75%.
75% crit, yeah.
Crit. So that's pretty dirty.
The amount of AD he has, because he has, I believe it's 65 from the Essence Reaver, 80 from the Infinity Edge, and then another 50? 40 from the BF Sword. That is a lot of attack damage on the back of those autos. And with the Rapid Fire Cannon, one big auto on a squishy member of Diabolus, you could really put some hit in.
He just did a 750 crit to a minion. Sendo?
Poor minions.
That's about 480 stacks, I believe. Which is...
a fair amount.
A lot.
Yeah.
Hasn't got the Triforce, but it's still got the Iceborne for the empowered auto on the Sheen.
Yeah, and it means it has better team fighting. He is very tanky. You saw in that team fight he survived for a long time. The Wither's going to come in huge if he gets onto a key target like Yusa. And if he gets close enough to hit someone, he really cuts through them. The opportunity just wasn't quite there in that last fight.
Well, he's been pushed in the bot lane for the moment. You can see XL grouping up, trying to get control around the Baron. They've got complete vision denial from Diabolus, but Diabolus are looking to clear out the wards on their route through.
Crucially, Blue Trinket still available for Yusa, so when they feel it started, they can use that to check. So not being too scared. They actually go for a recall right now on Krogston and Mirabros. Pick up a Void Staff. So that's a very big power spike. He bought that straight up.
Yeah.
He had Ludens from Rat and he just straight up bought that, so that's a big spike, and that might swing things into Diabolus' favor for this next team fight because Exile isn't really on a great position in items.
He's on components. He's got a Fiendish Codex, he's got a Neela's Large Rod, and he's got that Oblivion Orb. He's not finished on items since his first item.
And Krogston just hit level 16, so that max rank Shockwave on the back of that 3-item spike, that could do a lot more than it did last time. Because we saw it hit the tankier members, and it just couldn't pop them. Now it really could turn the tides of a team fight.
Oh, well, the Mountain Drake's spawning up, but Sendo's basing, looking to try and get his items. Does have that teleport if they want to go for this, but Curb is in. That's going to be the knock-up. Good ultimate onto Monkus to deny, but XL just going to have to give up this objective. They don't want to go for it, and the Mountain Drake goes down. That's 2 Mountain Drakes to Diabolus with a Kai'Sa.
Yeah, it's going to be such a fast Baron if they get their hands on it. And crucially, Diabolus made the reset earlier, so when XL made it, it was when the dragon was on the table and they able to get that objective out. Now with 4 dragons for the Elder, Exile has to be a bit careful here.
Uses the distortion. Monkus is looking to chase. He's been spotted out. He pings back.
He just went
uses the ultimate. Yusa, the flash is down. The fight's breaking out in the mid lane. Glacial Fish is on. Curb is tanking up the front line. The Maiden's doing a lot of damage, and Inax remains untouched. They jump into Exile, who just stalks away. Yusa's looking to chase, but he goes down. Monkus takes him out 6-0-1 on the Rek'Sai. Disgusting play coming out of the Diabolus jungler, but now XL looking to try and make a play onto Krogston, unable to get it, but the Baron is getting started up already. Inax throws down the Scryers, but not in the right position. It's half HP.
Monkus is so low, though.
Does have the ability to get over the wall. The health bars are low onto Monkus. There's a blast cone. He goes over the wall. He joins in. The quickness, the knock-up, everything gets thrown down. 2k HP. The Ricochet is ripping through Diabolus. 2,100 HP. Taxa goes golden. He comes out. He can't get the smite in time, and Taxa jumps away. XL do not get the Baron, and the Shockwave connects onto Sendo. Krogston gets slowed down. The health bars for XL are just disgustingly low, and Diabolus unable to chase for more, but they get the Baron buff, and they might look to close this.
Really good patience from Diabolus there. It looked really dicey when Monkus was that low, but he held on. He just sat there and waited until Taxa came in, and then as soon as that happened, no more damage went on the Baron. They had really good discipline. They kept it at high enough HP that he couldn't smite it, and then it was only when Taxa went golden that he couldn't use his smite. They took that opportunity to secure it. And locking that objective up is going to make a huge difference here. There's still a gold lead on Inax in the AD carry role, but it's not much. Everywhere else, the gold is in the advantage of Diabolus.
Have to see what Inax is working towards now as his next item. I assume he's trying to close out on that GA, but he might just go for something like a Phantom Dancer and look to just get as much crit as possible. Hado jumps in. That's going to be the on the hunt used just to disengage Kasing.
What I really like is Hado is so willing to go in with his grand entrance, but not use the ult, just to apply pressure and force cooldowns. He did it before and got Tax's ult. He does it here and gets Inax's. And now the teamfight potential of Exile has gone down significantly, but they need to look for something here if they're going to keep their base alive.
Sendo is in that top lane, looking to split push away, but the siege is starting up. The teleport's there. Hado throws down the grand entrance, but just steps away for the moment. Inax clearing away these waves. He has himself the Vampire Scepter, so he's looking for the lifesteal. Sendo now pushing in, but Baron buff recalls are just too big, and Sendo's going to have to base.
Yeah, so Yusa has picked up that Zhonya's Hourglass. So this is something else he has a tendency to do. It's because this build is less focused on particularly going for AD. He feels comfortable. And on Kai'Sa, when you have such versatile damage profiles, you can go for a bit of AP. And that Zhonya's is one of the strongest defensives in the game. And it's going to make it so difficult for XL ever to take him down.
XL still haven't taken down that turret.
It's still there. It's standing strong. And that's the power of Krogson on this Orianna.
4 minutes 20 left on that inhibitor. The blue buff getting cleared away here by Krogson. Big gold lead over to Diabolus so far.
They're in control, by all means. But still, they have a 4-item Sivir on the side of XL. This is a point where the power curve starts to shift over to her. She can make a massive impact, but she needs to free hit in these team fights.
Kassin goes in, Monkeys gets caught out, they flow down the Glacial Fissure, the knockups, everything, but Hado only loses a sliver of HP. Kerberos has been caught, now Tax is low HP for the moment. XL jumps into the backline, can't quite get the combo off, and Inax is being ripped through by the maiden. They're jumping into the fight, 2 members go. That's going to be a kill for Monkeys. On to 1, Shockwave only lands onto Kassin, but he is just getting melted by Monkeys. Sendo versus Krogson in the bottom side, so Sendo, Kerberos in the bottom side as he gets himself the kill. Now they're chasing. Yusa jumps in, gets himself another one. Inax is low HP, a triple kill for Monkeys. They chase for more. The boomerang blade comes out and Inax will go down. It's the full ace for Diabolus with 20 seconds left on Baron. They may have done this. They may have retained their spot at the top of the tower and secured themselves a spot at the European Masters.
Just flawless play coming out from Diabolus. That team fight was perfect. They found everything they needed to, and he said there could have been life from XL, but Diabolus just did so much there and proved why they are the #1 team in the UKLC.
Well, they take down that win, the Nexus falls, and with that, Diabolus remain at the top of the tower, and they win in points now off that win.
I believe, yeah, they have secured first from that. So they guarantee a spot at EU Masters,
yep.
I believe, because of the head-to-head.
The head-to-head versus Fnatic means Fnatic, even if they tie with them, can't win that.
And Fnatic can only get 5 points next week, which would put them at 19, which equalizes, so that's the only way anyone can catch them, and again, they'd win head-to-head. So Diabolus will be our first guaranteed representative at EU Masters, at least in the play-ins. Do they need 1 more point?
I don't think they need 1 more point.
Why?
All right, I'm going to double check that because I'm fairly certain. We literally had a conversation.
They're on 19.
Yep, they have 2 wins over Fnatic.
The closest is Fnatic on 14, right?
Yep. There's no way. They've done it.
Okay,
anyway, we'll have that discussion. We'll tweet that out in a minute to be sure. Nick told me I've been lied to. I've been lied to by the person who gave me that information. What is going on? Literally, I was told by the same person who's now turned against me.
I'm disappointed.
I'm disappointed. Diabolus, you're not done yet. You still need to make sure you get yourself that win.
Yeah,
are you trolling me right now?
I had a whiteboard. I wrote this out.
For you guys at home, sorry, production have just been trolling us for the last couple of minutes. Yes, Diabolus, you have got yourself a spot at the European Masters, and it was damn earned. They have played their hearts out this UKLC. They have been playing their hearts out for the last year for this spot, and I'm really happy to see them qualify for it.
I think as well, in that last game, it wasn't the typical XL we saw where they really fell apart. They had smart ideas. They tried to bring it to Diabolus, but Diabolus just played it better, and that team fight was flawless. I don't think we have heard the MVP yet, but I mean, there's no doubt it's going to be Monkeys because he was so good on their XI, got so many kills, and they prioritized it as a first pick. I wasn't too sure on that because it's very confident to say I want to take that, but he just absolutely delivered, was huge, and managing to shut down a LeBlanc. LeBlanc is not hard to shut down with a mobility, and he just found her again and again.
Okay, so with that, Diabolus remain at the top of the tower. Monkeys is going to be the guy who gets MVP. He had a fantastic game. 9-0-2 on that Rek'Sai. 73% kills participation. He had a bloody good game.
The vision score is huge as well. If we compare that, in the last game that Taxa got MVP, his vision score was about 1.1. And we're looking at a 1.8 from Monkeys. He had so much impact on the map. And I'm going to say, I think he's the best jungler in the league.
It's not done here for Diabolus, though. While they've remained themselves at the top of the tower, there's 1 more week to go. And yes, they've secured themselves a spot at play-ins at the European Masters. But if they can win the playoffs, which will be next weekend, they actually just get themselves straight into the group stages.
Which is a much better situation.
A much more coveted situation. And for a team like Fnatic, for a team like XL, and for a team like MNM, they need to either play for points just so they can be second highest in points and secure playoffs, or they have to actually just win the whole thing to be able to get
This
through.
means one crucial thing is that one of these LEC sister teams will not be going to EU Masters.
Yeah, that's really big. I mean, there's still a chance that neither of them go. M&M could
Absolutely.
have a miracle run next week and do a fantastic game. But let's have a little look at the scoreboard, seeming as we were getting trolled earlier, and we can show you guys exactly where we are sitting. Diabolus locked in 3-time Tower Championship, and they are secured as our #1 team in points here at the UKLC. Fnatic rising on 14 points, trying to get themselves at least locked in at second, so to secure themselves playoffs.
So the maximum amount a team can get per week is 5 points. So Fnatic could get to 19 as well, but they would lose the head-to-head. They still will want to secure as much points as possible because the positions between them, XL, and M&M are still up in the air. And that is just talking about our top 4 teams. The bottom 5 very much are still playing because bottom 2 will go to relegations.
Yeah.
So they still have to fight it out for that.
So, I mean, you want to lock yourself a spot where Enclave are, because Enclave are very happy. They're locked in 5th now.
I don't know about here, are you happy?
I mean, you're not going to be relegated. You skip...
Complacent.
Yeah, I mean, you skip the first round of Forge of Champions, so they're feeling quite comfortable. But let's have a little look at our bracket for next week's games. We'll be starting out Barrage versus Fnatic Rising. Then Darkspawn have to challenge M&M. Bulldogs versus Enclave, and then Phelan versus the loser of the rematch between XL and Diabolus.
Yeah, so a lot of heated games. And all these teams still playing because, you know, some are avoiding relegation, some are looking to get better spots for the seed in the playoffs. Because remember, if Diabolus are the team to fear, you don't want to go up against them. 4th place will match up against Diabolus. And the thing is, if you end up 2nd or 3rd and you win and get to the finals, then you're guaranteed a spot at EU Masters. Because if Diabolus win all the playoffs, their play-in spot that they've earned today will go to the 2nd place team in playoffs. So you really want to make sure you get as close as possible to that #1 spot in playoffs.
It's still all to fight for here around the top. While Diabolus are sitting very content, they've at least got themselves the European Masters. They want more. Yeah. I mean, you're looking at Kerberos. He's been going for this kind of top spot for a while. I think the last time he made a finals was versus you, when you reverse swept him on XL. So
hell yeah.
I mean,
but it's great to see because I mean, Kerberos and Yusa coming into the offseason as well. I feel like they weren't ranked super high in terms of the sort of free agents in the UK, but they got on a roster with Hado and Monkeys, who they've really been solid. They've been together for a while, and I really like this support jungle duo. But Kerberos and Yusa, I feel like they've always had that potential, but they haven't really shined. And this is a roster where they've really, I mean, the complaint for Kerberos was consistency. That last game, it looked a lot more consistent. And then Yusa has just gone from strength to strength. And I feel like being with a veteran like Hado in the bot lane has done so much for him. And then that's not to forget Krogson, who has been a monster. And he's been in the UK scene for a long time, has jumped in and out of it, but he is just looking so confident. And considering how much Exile really styled in the game before that, and then in this one, it looked like Krogson was just in control. He played the Orion to LeBlanc fine, had a CS lead, and got huge shockwaves throughout.
Next week is going to be one of the most exciting weeks we've had. I think day 1 from this week was fantastic. Day 2 was, there was so much on the line. You could see it with the teams. But next week, we still got 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Sorry, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Got my counting right. Up for grabs. There's a lot still on the lines to do with that. You've still got the relegation spot as well. These teams at the bottom do not want to be getting relegated. But if there were any games that you missed, you can head over to our YouTube channel, LVP UK. We can catch up on all of the games from this week, last week, and even if you're somehow that far out of date, Forge of Champions, our previous tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I want to go watch back today's games because there were some really good ones.
I want to watch yesterday's game. I want to watch Bulldog versus XL.
That was a good one.
Hands down my favorite game of the season.
The team fights slower because we go through them sometimes. Sometimes it's time for replay, sometimes there isn't. But sometimes I just want to go through it in slow-mo and look at the exact little mechanics that come through. Just a great performance, though, from Diabolus to close it out.
And if there's any games from today that you felt particularly passionate about and you want to let us know, you can head over to our Twitter at LVPUK. Use that hashtag UKLC to get in touch with us about all of the games. And after the show has ended, we will once again do our vote for our unsung heroes. So 4 players who didn't get MVP today, but maybe deserved it. We'll put a vote up on Twitter, and you guys at home can let us know who you think maybe is your MVP, the people's champion. Who's your MVP?
MVP is?
It's Scoundrel. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Not right now. That's the Spider-Man move. I like that one.
Yeah.
I know my stuff.
Yeah.
You're not
anyway. Anyway, Do you want to say it or should I say it?
Do you know what? I'm going to say it. Guys, next week on Wednesday and Thursday, we have the UKLC as per normal. But on Saturday and Sunday, it is playoffs and finals. Everything will be decided. Everything will be coming to an end for our first tournament here in the UK since we moved.
Yeah, so I can't even be sad about it because it's been such a great run. I've
It's
loved
gone so
every
quick.
minute. It has gone quick. It's been action-packed, though.
It's been action-packed indeed, but we are still not done. So next week, we will be back with Week 7 of the UKLC. Thank you very much for joining us, and until then, we'll see you later.
See you next week.